Today we are setting sail on Disney Cruise Line's very first ship, the Disney Magic. I'm going to be showing you everything there is to eat on board as we dine at every restaurant on the ship. Here on the Magic, you can find 9 places to dine, including a buffet, multiple quick service locations, rotational dining restaurants, and of course, Palo, the adults-only restaurant. For our first restaurant of the trip, it's only right that we start off at Cabanas. Cabanas is the buffet on board, and they're serving up breakfast and lunch daily. I love starting off my cruise here, although usually on the first day, it could be very busy. Luckily, since we were some of the first people to board, it's pretty empty in here right now, so let me show you guys what they have on the buffet. First up, we've got more basic selections. They have some mac and cheese and chicken tenders here. And then we got some fries. There's also a potato leek soup and some roasted veggies in the back, as well as some bread, some cornbread. And then this soup right here is actually a seafood and chicken gumbo soup. That sounds delicious. Moving along, we've got a pea puree as well as some grilled salmon. And then right here is a panko crusted cod with some tartar sauce, some steamed rice. We've got some rolls here as well, plenty of bread to be had. This is some grilled chicken breast with pico de gallo. Some other grilled veggies here. I see some bok choy. I think they say some leeks in here as well. This is a pasta, a macaroni with sauteed mushroom and tarragon, as well as a penne pasta with provincial sauce and goat cheese. There's some toppings for those guys right there, and a little build your own pasta situation. There's some plain pasta with some Alfredo, marinara, and Parmesan cheese. Now we're getting into more of the fancier stuff. So we've got some sour cream mashed potatoes and some grilled strip loin here. This is a lamb chop with a mint jelly and then some buttered asparagus. And then, don't you guys worry, plenty more bread. This is the focaccia section actually. And here we've got some of our roasted meats. So this is roasted turkey right here. We've got some more vegetables with some gravy. And then what is this? A roasted steam ship. Looks like a giant piece of beef there. Of course, there's also plenty of seafood. So they've got a whole pile here of shrimp and crab claws. And over here, some salads. Oh, and some like caprese salad, some prosciutto. So you could grab these as well. Towards the center of the buffet, there's more Asian style food. So we have a veggie fried rice as well as a veggie chow mein here. Of course, some sauce for that too. Oh, we've got even more. Oh, this is chicken fried rice and pork chow mein. So they've got a meat version and a vegetable version. And then right over here is all of the desserts. So we've got a warm apple crumble here with some sauce, some cookies. I think they have ice cream here as well. Yeah, they do. Hi guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And then we've got a bunch more desserts here too. I made my first plate here. Let me show you guys what I got. All right, so we got a little bit of that grilled salmon, some of the panko crusted cod, the goat cheese pasta, which I am so excited for. Underneath our beef, we have some of that veggie lo mein, some asparagus, some mashed potatoes back there, and guys, I had to do it. Some mac and cheese as well. And I figured we could do a quick little sampling here of everything. Let's try this beef here first. This looks so juicy. They like cut it right there off of that huge hunk of meat. I'm excited for this one. Oh, that's good. Definitely very nice and juicy, and it should pair perfectly with these mashed potatoes. As you know, I love a Disney mashed potato, and these are no different. These veggie lo mein, like I said, they also had a pork chow mein as well, lo mein. I got the veggie one. It's very sweet, almost like a teriyaki sauce. It's good. Now this pasta, I know I like. I've had this on a couple other cruises before with the goat cheese there. The goat cheese makes it, gives it that little tang. Perfect. Some salmon. Simple, but cooked nicely. I could use a little more salt and pepper personally. And I've also had this panko crusted cod before, and I remember really liking it. this time is no different. I feel like it's hard to go wrong with fried fish. We've got our asparagus here, which I'm sure you guys all know how that tastes. This is the perfect little lunch before the sail away party.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So excited that dinner for our first night of our cruise is here at Animator's Palate. I feel like it's the perfect restaurant to kind of get you introduced to the dining here on the ship, and it is so much fun here. As you can see, the walls around me are all black and white, and there's some pictures on the wall, but those are gonna change. Spoiler alert. They're gonna change. Not only is this restaurant really cool, I think they also have some of the best food on the ship. These are the appetizers that they offer. Of course, that black truffle pasta. Oh, that is my favorite appetizer on this entire ship. They have soups, they got salads, they have a baked potato soup. That sounds kind of good. These are the main courses. They have a penne bolognese, a grilled tuna steak, some lemon thyme chicken, an herb-crusted pork chop, as well as a ginger teriyaki dusted Angus beef tenderloin. And here are the vegetarian options and the lighter options. So I decided to order 2 appetizers here tonight, and the one I'm most excited for is, of course, the black truffle pasta persets. These are pasta purses filled with truffle-scented cheese and coated with a delicate champagne sauce. This is like my favorite thing that I'm going to eat on the entire cruise, so it's good to start off with this. We are starting off super hot. Oh my gosh. It's like an Alfredo-y sauce, but it has a unique flavor from that champagne, and these are so delicious. The cheese inside there is like almost a hardened ricotta or Parmesan blend. That sauce coats the pasta perfectly, and the pasta is cooked very well too. If you're worried about the truffle flavor, I love truffle, and it's very light on the truffle flavor, so you might like this even if you don't love truffle, but man, these are the absolute best. I always end up ordering an extra bowl of these at some of the other rotational dining restaurants, because if you didn't know, if you really like an appetizer, an entree, or dessert from a restaurant that you've dined at before, or you just know you like it, when you go to another restaurant, you're able to order that same thing. So you can order this truffle pasta at the Rapunzel restaurant that we're dining at later, at Lumiere's that we're dining at later on in the week. So if you really like something, you can get it every week. Every day, actually. But on to the other appetizer I ordered, the tomato tart with glazed goat cheese and shaved radish. Now, I don't think I've had this before. It's on like a puff pastry kind of dough, a very shiny puff pastry. And I love goat cheese, but it's only in the middle, so I want to kind of spread it out a little bit. Oh, it's really baked on there. Maybe I can't do that. I'll cut off a little piece and move it to the side so you can get a bite with the goat cheese. It's honestly very basic and plain. The real flavor that I'm tasting here is that tangy goat cheese. It's kind of carrying the dish, which I love goat cheese, so that's perfect. But it's a good little like lighter bite. It's almost like a pizza, like a margarita pizza that you got here, but it's really good. But we're on to entrees, and I ordered the most popular entree on the menu, the ginger teriyaki dusted Angus beef tenderloin. This is served with wasabi mashed potatoes, bok choy, and a tamarind barbecue reduction. This steak here is usually what I order when I dine at Animator's Palate. This is my go-to entree here. Let's cut it in half. I ordered it medium rare, of course. Let's see if it's medium rare. Well, for like a rotational dining restaurant to nail a steak medium rare is pretty impressive, since they're cooking in such massive portions and everything. They're cooking this for everyone, but this steak looks really, really good. There's a good crust on it as well. I'm trying to cut a piece off here. I gotta get a smaller piece than that. There we go. Let's try it out. That's a good, thick filet mignon. It could be a little bit more tender, and it could have like a little bit more salt and pepper, but I have a feeling once I get a bite here with that extra sauce, that'll make up for the just slight lack of salt and pepper. Let's dip it in that sauce. There we go. That's the bite. Now it's also served with some wasabi mashed potatoes. I believe you could substitute them for regular mashed potatoes if you'd like. I don't remember if I like these or not.
I've never had it with like a...
Yeah, You could definitely taste that wasabi. The wasabi taste is definitely strong. Next time I order this, I have to remember to ask for it with regular mashed potatoes, but everything else on this plate is really good. Well, I am stuffed, but it is time for dessert. Our options are a crunchy walnut cake, a chocolate fudge cheesecake, cookies and cream sundae, my favorite, a warm sticky date pudding. Their specialty is the lemon icebox pie, and their no sugar added, the deconstructed carrot cake. Although very basic, my favorite dessert on this menu here is actually the cookies and cream sundae. This has cookies and cream ice cream with chocolate sauce and chocolate chip cookies. I don't know what it is about this sundae that I love, but when I dined here for the first time and I did not order this sundae, I totally regretted it after I tried my friends. And I love cookies and cream ice cream. It's like double cookie because you have the chocolate chip cookies and you also have the cookies and cream ice cream. And those chocolate chip cookies are nice and soft and warm. This is like the ultimate cookie sundae. It shouldn't even be called the cookies and cream sundae. It should be called the ultimate cookie sundae. Time for our night number 2 dinner, and tonight we're eating at Rapunzel's Royal Table. At this restaurant, we'll be celebrating Rapunzel's birthday, and we're also going to get to see a bunch of characters. This is one of those Disney Cruise Line restaurants where it's almost like a dinner show. So we're gonna see plenty of dancing, of singing, and I always love these dinner shows. They're definitely a highlight of the cruise for me. Yeah, I'd say Disney definitely hooked it up with this table here. We are really right in front of the stage. Also, I wanna give a huge shout out to Disney for hosting me on this cruise here. And yeah, like I said, they definitely hooked it up. The stage is literally right there. And while I do love the show element here, I also really like the food. So let's take a look over this menu here. We've got a ton of appetizers. I think I remember that ravioli being quite delicious. We've got our soups and our salads. Oh, they have 2 really tasting sounding soups today. Our entrees down here. I think last time I was here, I had the tangled pasta, which I hear is pretty popular and sounds good again tonight. And then we have our lighter options. Our bread, we're actually gonna get some pretzel bread. And here are all of the desserts. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I want like everything here.
If I'd rather be called Duckling, come back down and shout to medley. That girl, cause way down deep inside I got a dream. He's got a dream. Yes, I do. He's got a dream. That's about me. See, I get to school ambitious as I see.
For appetizer number 1 this evening, I decided to order the ravioli Tiroler. This is filled with pulled beef and portobello mushrooms tossed in a red wine thyme reduction with roasted carrots and pearl onions. Let's see if it tastes as good as it looks.
It was a Caribbean-style themed restaurant.
That is so delicious. The ravioli, the pasta, tastes very fresh, cooked perfectly. And the inside, yeah, it's like kind of like pulled beef. You can't taste any mushrooms, and that jus on the bottom there is delicious. I'm sad they only give you 2 because I would eat a ton of these, but we do have still have so much more coming. And yeah, Nate has to try this. For the second appetizer, we have here a green asparagus and broccoli soup with buttered croutons. This soup is very green, and I kind of wish that I got a bowl of the potato soup as well to kind of mix the 2 together, because that's what I like to do at some of the cruise line restaurants, but I just went with the green asparagus soup today. Let's see if it's good. That's very good. A little salty. I wouldn't even say it tastes much like asparagus. It just tastes like blended, thick veggie soup. And it's really good. Yeah, perfectly salted. The croutons on there are a nice touch. And I actually like when the croutons get a little soggy from sitting in that soup. But I'm a fan of this one here too. So both our appetizers have been fantastic. Hi.
happy birthday. I know, isn't it nice?
As for my entree, I went with the pan-seared Corvina filet. This has fava bean and pea risotto, sliced fennel, and a dill chive Riesling wine sauce. How good does the cook on this fish look? It looks to be nice and juicy. You can kind of see the butter oozing out of there. Look at that. But it's also like nice and crisp on the top, so I hope it's...
You should try this.
Yeah, this is
really
cutting really nicely. Super tender. Wow.
I know.
I'm excited. First, the fish.
That was pretty good. You were paying attention.
Oh, I was.
This fish is great. As I said in the beginning, it looks like it's cooked perfectly. It definitely is. And that Riesling sauce on the bottom is so good with it. It's almost like a creamy white wine sauce. But I'm not going to lie. I pretty much got this dish here because of this risotto. I love risotto. That's really good. The flavor of that sauce with the risotto is perfect. The risotto is nice and creamy, cooked well. This is a great pairing. I'm like so actually beyond impressed with this dish here tonight. I love it.
Want to know where I really was tonight? Why I was really late?
Yes.
Well, I was busy making this for you. The perfect lantern for the perfect princess.
I love it. It's
Not bad, very lovely.
all those days watching the news, all those years outside all that time, never even knowing just how blind I've been. And at last I see the light. It's like the fog's lifted. And at last I see the light. And it's like the sky is blue. And it's warm and real and bright. And the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see.
Well, after the show, the desserts have arrived, and I decided to go with Rapunzel's fry pan sweetbread. This is fry bread dusted with powdered sugar, chocolate hazelnut sauce, and vanilla bean ice cream. Yeah, it kind of looks like a donut, or like a flattened zeppoli of some sort. I hope it's not too sweet, because I feel like when you get like regular bread, it might not be sweet, which is what I want. That is really good. It totally tastes like a donut with like a chocolate frosted donut, which I love. And then you get the ice cream on there. Now the outside is a little bit hard, but I kind of like it like that because the inside is like gooey and soft, hard exterior, but that's good. And it's not sweet, which is what I was looking for. Well, to absolutely no surprise, Rapunzel's royal table was excellent tonight. The show was great. It was entertaining. It was interactive. I love how the waiters and waitresses come around holding the lanterns towards the end. And also, I've got to say, the food was quite tasty as well. But with that being said, we still have so much more dining to get to, and tomorrow I think we're heading to Lumiere's. Lumiere's is a restaurant that's themed after Beauty and the Beast. You'll get to dine in a room inspired by the Grand Ballroom from the Beauty and the Beast. And since the Beauty and the Beast takes place in France, this menu is going to be French inspired. Speaking of the menu, let's take a look at it. Here we have our appetizers. They have some duck, some iced lobster, and jumbo shrimp. Of course, the French classic escargot, and one of my favorites, that deep fried brie, is always delicious. We've got our soups and salads. I actually have two amazing sounding soups today. French onion, which is possibly my number one soup, and leek and potato soup, which might be like my number two soup. So I might have to get both of those. And then over here, there's a lobster pasta, a salmon royale, some more duck, lamb, and then the Chateaubriand, which I've had before and can say it's very good. Here's a look at our lighter and vegetarian options, and then I'll show you guys the dessert afterwards. Well, of course, I ordered a bunch of food, and our first thing has arrived. This is a breaded and deep-fried brie served with an orange and cranberry chutney. Let's see how melty this brie is.
No, they think that's too professional.
It's a must-have.
He was like, give it to me.
Watch out, chilies. But I have had this brie before, and I already know it's very good. We'll dunk it in that cranberry orange
And
chutney.
I was like, okay. So I gave our tour guide my pan back.
What's not to love about this? You take your brie cheese and you bread it and you fry it. Serve it with a little sweet jam, so you get a little sweetness with your cheese. It's really hard to mess up. I mean, the brie inside is super melty. The breading is super crunchy. This is definitely one of the better things to eat on this ship, and I always have to get it when I dine here. So after those apps, both of our entrees have arrived, and let me tell you, they are both looking delicious, especially the Chateaubriand roasted filet steak. This has a filet steak with crushed new potatoes with shallots, buttered green beans, a red wine jus, and a béarnaise sauce on the side. Not only does this look good, I know it's going to be good because I have had this steak before. I had it last time I dined here, and I loved it. I remember it being super tender, and this is also cooked to perfection. Let's see how it tastes this bad. Out of all of the steaks that you could get on the Disney Magic, I do believe this is in fact the best steak. It is so tender, it almost melts in your mouth, which you wouldn't expect from a steak at an included dining restaurant. It's cooked to perfection. It's seasoned very well. That red wine sauce on there is great too.
Potato meat combo.
If you're gonna get steak at one restaurant on your vacation, it should be this one right here. Literally no complaints. It's delicious, and we also have these mashed potatoes with it here too. Nice and creamy, buttery. Again, perfect. And I think it's gonna go really well with the steak.
Oh my Lord, you're not kidding.
So my mother just said she's had the steak at every restaurant so far, and this was her favorite.
Yeah. It was cooked to perfection. I kind of fluctuate between medium and medium well, but it is, this steak is this is Chateaubriand. It's so good. The mashed potatoes with it were perfect. And I literally have tried, I feel like I've had steak at every restaurant. Prime rib, I've had the sirloin, and this is by far the most tender cut, the most, just perfect. This meal was my favorite.
I feel like if they served this at Palo, I would be happy with it. Like, I'd be happy to pay for this steak. That's how good it is. For our other entree, I ordered the roasted rack of lamb. This has scalloped potatoes, buttered Brussels sprouts, and a burgundy rosemary sauce. And would you look at the crust on this lamb here? It looks insane. This actually looks nearly identical to the lamb that they serve at 1923 on the Wish class ships. And this is my favorite thing on at 1923 on the Disney Wish, the lamb. I hope it's similar.
I like to put mashed potatoes on my steak like butter.
It tastes like they've rubbed some Dijon mustard on the outside of the lamb to get those breadcrumbs and like herbs to stick. And it's so good. Again, the lamb is just cooked perfectly, very tender, and that sauce on the bottom is so good too. Wow.
People were like, oh yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what's better, the lamb or the filet. That's why I ordered both, and you can too, because at the rotational dining restaurants, you can just order as much of whatever you'd like. And I would have a hard time deciding if I came back, so I'm probably going to order both next time I'm here. But man, these entrees have been fantastic. All right, on to dessert. Here's a look at our options. They have a Grand Marnier souffle, an apple tart, a Tahitian vanilla creme brulee, a strawberry shortcake, their signature dessert here, and their no sugar dessert here as well. We also had to double dessert it up, so I could show you guys my favorite dessert and also try something new. And my favorite dessert on this menu is the Grand Marnier souffle. This Grand Marnier souffle is served with a Grand Marnier creme anglaise. They pour it right at your table, and it is so delectable. It's warm, it's gooey, and that sauce there.
The tour guy said, don't accept
it's hard to beat.
Or bargain with them, right?
I can't get it out though.
So when I went, I wanted
and it's
to
so
get
hot,
the
I don't want to touch it.
Whistle, and they said 1,000 pesos.
This is so dang good.
Yeah.
The steak we had earlier, and this
$8 a piece.
This
But
is
this is
so
what he
dang
did, though.
good.
He
This
said-
might be
he
the
was
best
like, "You buy
dessert
two,
that
I'll
we
give it to
have
you for $1,500."
on the rotational
And I
dining
said, well,
restaurant
that's
list
a good deal.
this
I'll take
cruise.
that. So I got two
The
for
top,
15 instead of
crisp.
two
It
for
tastes like
2,000.
a thin, it
And
doesn't
they were
taste like it,
"Wow,
but it's
you
like the
got
texture of
scammed."
a
I'm
thin
like,
chocolate
"No,
chip cookie
he got
around the
scammed
outside.
because he could've told
And then
me
in the center,
2,000
it's warm
for
and
each,
gooey,
and I
and that
would've
sauce is
paid
so
for
good. It
it.
has a slight orange flavor, and there's fresh vanilla beans in here as well. It's so good. Think of like a chocolate lava cake, a chocolate malt cake, but just with like a citrusy vanilla twist. And that's what this is. But man, this is a must order dessert when you come here.
it
It is so good. And yeah, I also decided to order the Tahitian vanilla creme brulee with almond biscotti. The bruleed sugar on top is usually the best part of creme brulee, but they didn't put a thick enough layer of sugar and they didn't torch it long enough either.
I don't know. No, it's hard.
Somehow, this is not crisp enough,
I wonder if there's grab
but it
ones
tastes
still
so
there.
burnt.
They say that they're still there.
Was your sugar on the top of your creme brulee like burnt? Like
I
it
just
tastes
wanted
like
something to
I'm eating
remember the
charcoal.
trip by.
It was
That's
a little
it.
burnt, but I still enjoyed it. But last time
Yeah.
when we were on the Magic in April, our server did not recommend.
They probably don't hunt
And
humans.
this
I
time
heard
our
that there's
server
only
did.
3.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that
And
Grand
polar
Marnier
bears hunt humans
souffle
too.
was
I love animals.
life-changing.
The Grand Marnier souffle is the winner for sure.
And you
That's the
have
way
to
they lay
get it
around.
if you come on a cruise ship, anything.
They always just like,
has
yeah.
that. Oh my god. And tomorrow night, we're gonna have the
Yeah.
chocolate souffle. at Palo.
We are,
And
so stay
I
tuned.
have been waiting years to do this one. So
We'll have to
I'm
let you know
excited.
which one is better between the Grand
Yeah.
Marnier from here at Lumiere's and the chocolate one. But back to the creme brulee that we were talking about. Not my favorite. Well, another successful dinner. Pretty much everything that I ate today was tasty. We still have one more dinner to get to. We're going to end with a bang, but before we get to Palo, we have a couple more restaurants to check out on the ship. Our next mission is to hit up all of the quick service restaurants located around the pool deck. Here you can find 4 dining locations. They have the Duck Inn Diner, Daisy's Delights, Pinocchio's Pizza, and Ice Cream. All of these locations are going to be serving up grab-and-go style food that you can take back to your pool chair, to a table around the pool deck, or even to your room. And we, of course, have 4 different places to hit up. So let's head to our first stop, Daisy's Delights. Here at Daisy's Delights, you can find a bunch of different food offerings. They have grab-and-go wraps, sandwiches, they have a bunch of different sliced fruits. They also have some salads, and they have something really interesting. They have a build-your-own bowl area. They have a lot of delicious-looking, fresh options to choose from to put in your bowl, and yeah, I decided to order a bowl because I've never had one of the bowls from there. On the newer Disney Cruise Line ships, they have Donald's Cantina where you can actually build your own Chipotle dupe bowl. And it's so good. This one is definitely more different because it's more of like a salad Mediterranean style. But what I found interesting is they don't have like any proteins. I wish I had like some chickpeas or some grilled chicken or something to throw in here. That would be really good. I also didn't have that many sauces, so I had to get like a salad dressing on here. But I built my own bowl with some rice, some spinach, some green peppers, some onions, some cabbage, and also some of these like little fried onions here. So I don't know how this is going to be because it's such a mix of things together, but it can't be that bad, right? If I could get stuff up on my fork. I'll tell you what, this is good, but it could be a lot better with the addition of some protein or some better sauces. Even like a tzatziki sauce on this would be great. Now they do have chicken tenders, which we'll get to in just a little bit, right across the way. So adding some chicken tenders or something onto this would be good, but it just needs a little bit more. You know, but I like that they have this option here because it's like the perfect poolside food. You can kind of DIY your own salad or bowl. They also have pre-made salads, like I mentioned. They also have soups, which I don't think I mentioned in the beginning. They have a bunch of like lighter bites at Daisy's that I enjoy. The next dining location that we have to hit up on the pool deck is Pinocchio's Pizza. This is located right outside of the main pool, so it's very convenient to just grab a slice or two while you're relaxing by the pool. And what I love about this pizza is that they actually have like a rotating pie every day. So a couple days ago for Marvel Day at Sea, they had a special Spider-Man themed pizza with a bunch of different toppings, and I ended up really liking it. Today, their specialty pizza was a Hawaiian pizza, but I'm not the biggest Hawaiian pizza fan. But like I said, every day they've got a different specialty slice, and they of course always have the classics. They have pepperoni, they have cheese, they have margarita, and they can also make a gluten-free pizza there if you need. But Sean and I might be Pinocchio's Pizza's biggest fans. We keep saying it's like not good, that it's so great. I don't know what it is, but Pinocchio does it every time. The crust is like spongy, almost Chuck E. Cheese-like, and that the cheese flavor is also giving a little bit of Chuck E. Cheese. But there's just something about sitting on a Disney cruise ship and eating a slice of pizza here that is hard to beat. We're moving on to the Duck Inn Diner. This is where you're gonna find all of your classic American food. They of course have chicken tenders and french fries, they have burgers, they have hot dogs, they have bratwurst sandwiches. But aside from all of that basic food, they also have shawarma here, which is very surprising. They have shawarma roasting on a spit, and they also have a bunch of different toppings, veggies, sauces, and they offer pita bread as well, so you can kind of make your own pita. But today, I was just in the mood for a classic burger and fries. I had one of these last night, and it hit the spot. It's honestly nothing special, but it's always, for some reason, so good on a Disney cruise. So they have toppings as well. I got some lettuce, some pickles, some onions on there. Hopefully it's as good as last night. That's hard to beat. It's just a classic backyard barbecue style burger, but in the middle of the ocean with a view like this is definitely hard to beat. And we of course got some fries with that as well. Now, I may not have gotten the shawarma, but I know a guy who did, and he's actually been named around the ship as the shawarma guy. So you have to let me know how it is.
The shawarma guy, I actually did get approached by somebody, and they said, "You're the shawarma guy." And I've only had shawarma twice, and this is actually my second time ever having it. And I am so happy they actually have something like unique on a cruise ship, because they didn't have this before the last time I was on the Magic. But it was really good. I got a nice chicken shawarma, some aioli on there. Don't mention that around Kristen. And a bunch of little veggies on top, like a cucumber salad, diced tomatoes, and onions, and it was delicious.
Our final stop on the pool deck involves dessert. We're hitting up ice cream. Just like any cruise ship, they of course have a self-serve ice cream machine here, right by the pool. One thing I love about this ice cream stand here is that they have rotating flavors. I think a couple of days ago they had blueberry, I've seen mango there. They always have a strawberry or a banana, or sometimes both at the same time so you can swirl them. And today they had mint ice cream. There are very few things better than a poolside Disney Cruise Line ice cream cone, and today they had a really interesting flavor. They actually had mint. Never seen it on a Disney ship before, but they had it swirled with chocolate, so I of course got that. And sorry guys, I make like the most unesthetically pleasing ice cream cones. I'm so bad at getting the perfect swirl, so this is the best I can do, and it's melting quickly, so we gotta try it out. You know what? This is actually really good. Sometimes the specialty flavors that they have aren't really the best, and they more taste like vanilla than the actual flavor that they're supposed to taste like. But this actually tastes like mint, and it's actually very good. I love it swirled with the chocolate in there. Now they of course have vanilla and chocolate flavors every day. They unfortunately don't have any toppings, but I also love that they switch up the specialty flavors daily. So you never know what you're gonna find. It's always a surprise walking down here and seeing what they have, and I was very excited to see the mint ice cream today, and it's very good. Probably one of the better like specialty flavors that I've had from here. I might have to get another cone later. We have made it to our final restaurant of the trip, and of course our final restaurant is going to be Palo. Palo is the adults-only restaurant on the ship, and they're open for brunch and dinner. It is important to note that meals here are not included with the cost of your cruise, so this restaurant does cost a little extra to dine at. I mentioned brunch, and a lot of people like to dine here for brunch because they have a great all-you-care-to-enjoy menu. But tonight we're actually going to be dining here for dinner.
Mrs. Kristen Wright, is this the family of the Wright party? Fantastic. You guys are going to have a great dinner here at Palo.
Where did the Italian accent go? This is an Italian restaurant, Sean.
No, that's bonjour is French. I don't even know an Italian thing. Come on, let me do it in a different Italian.
Well, anyways, the chef is here. Well, the chef has guided us to our table.
Please.
It's weird that he's not in the kitchen and he's
I'll be
instead
running back
at
and forth, don't you worry.
Okay,
I'll
so
make sure everything's good back there for our dinner.
That sounds perfect. Let me show you guys the menu here for dinner. So when you dine here for dinner, they have two options for your menu. They have a prefix menu, which you can see right here, and that prefix menu costs $55 for the 4-course meal. And they also have an a la carte menu, full of this stuff. Over here, they have pastas, they have pizza, they have antipasto, they have salads and soups. And then over here, of course, our 2nd course, some vegetarian dishes as well, some steaks, and some sides. So if you want to take a look at the menu, go ahead and pause, and you can see what you would order if you came here. So a couple things you may notice with this menu. First of all, the prices. Compared to your regular Italian steakhouse on land, they're definitely very reasonable. They kind of build the price in with your cruise because technically all your rotational dining is included with your cruise. So when you dine here, you have to pay a little bit extra, but the prices are super reasonable. Another thing, the dinner menu and the brunch menu at all of the restaurants, all of the Palo restaurants on all of the different ships is the exact same. So whether you're dining at Palo for dinner, on the Magic, or the Destiny, or the Wish, you're going to see the same menu. Now, we've talked about all of the food, but we haven't talked about what is potentially my favorite thing served at Palo, this iced tea. This is, I think, the best iced tea I've ever consumed. I don't know what they do to it, but it's just so dang delicious. It's not sweetened or anything, but the really special thing that they do is they freeze iced tea for the ice cubes. So you have iced tea ice cubes in your iced tea, and it is just so good. Last time I dined here, they just kept a pitcher right next to me and kept refilling it because I just kept drinking it. I wish I could find out what tea they use because this is just the best. But back to food, and tonight I decided to just order the a la carte menu, just a couple of things that I have been wanting to try for a while. Starting with the cioppini soup. This has mussels, shrimp, calamari, red snapper, and monkfish, all poached in a garlic, basil, white wine, tomato broth for $18. This is my good pal Dom's favorite dish at this restaurant, so I had to try it out for him. So Dom, this one here is for you. I want to try the broth first. Okay, it tastes almost like a lobster bisque, but just with no cream. So it's like seafoody, tomatoey, but there's definitely a strong seafood flavor. So if that's not your thing, do not order this. But it is very tasty, I must say. Oh, what is this piece here? This must be some of that monkfish. I gotta say, there is a ton of seafood in this bowl right here for $18. There's like multiple pieces of the fish, at least 3 shrimp, multiple rings of calamari, multiple mussels, clams. This is like a ridiculous amount of seafood for $18 here. I think this could use like a pinch more salt and pepper. I should have got some of that black pepper ground on my soup. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to this garlic bread here. How good does this look? You want a piece, Mom?
No, dip it. You're gonna dip it.
I will, but take a piece of my garlic bread for your sauce. Oh,
Wow, that looks like
garlic bread looks
bread.
insane, right? It's like pesto, basil-y garlic bread. Before our main course comes out, they brought us this basket of bread with a couple of different breadsticks, as well as this pizza dough that's been just coated in like a garlicky pesto. And as soon as she put it on the table, you could smell it. Like, this smells great. I think it's the same stuff that they put on the bread that I had with the soup. That is delicious. That garlicky, pesto-y, herby spread on there is perfection. This is another great garlic bread. Our main course has arrived and everyone is loving their food. I know Sean loved his salmon. He's already almost done.
Listen, I cooked this perfection.
Yes, compliments to the chef here. But I decided to just order 2 pastas as my main entree, as well as a side of mac and cheese. I gotta try the mac and cheese here to see how it is. First, we'll taste the agnolotti, which has butternut squash, buffalo mozzarella, amaretti, and a sage brown butter basil. I have heard so many great things about this pasta. This is honestly, both pastas are what I'm looking forward to trying the most. But I've heard this pasta here is amazing, and I believe they're making all of the pasta in-house. See what the center here looks like. You can see the butternut squash in there.
I'm gonna go
Let's
see
try
if
it
those
out.
guys want to try some.
This is really good. The pasta, the layer of pasta is so thin, and I love that sweet butternut squash flavor. It pairs perfectly with that butter sauce, and I really love these little crunchy bits. on the top. Maybe these are the amaretti? I'm not quite sure what amaretti is, but the little crunch on the top there is perfect. It's also like lighter. This is delicious. Now for my second pasta, I decided to order the soft potato gnocchi. This has roasted tomatoes, pine nuts, and basil pesto in a Prosecco wine sauce. This here was probably the dish that was recommended to me the most. And these gnocchi are made in-house. They are actually making these in-house, and this is like a creamy pesto sauce. That looks delicious. Okay, yeah, this might be my favorite bite of the night so far. Those gnocchi are so soft, it's unbelievable. And the sauce, it's definitely like a combination of Alfredo and pesto. Imagine putting those two together, putting them in a blender, and that's what you get here. Now it's a very small portion, so if you order this, you're probably gonna wanna order something else as well. But it's plenty for all of the food that we got here, but man, that's amazing. Now, the third and last thing I decided to order is a side of mac and cheese to go with the bite of Nate's steak that he ordered. He ordered a giant steak.
28 ounces, and you can taste the dry age in it. It has such a great texture. I feel like I like Palo, and I like the steak.
Well, we like you too.
Yeah, that was your best food description you've ever given, and it's on my video, so thanks.
You really can taste the dry age in it. It's so impressive.
I got a side of the cavatappi pasta mac and cheese with Parmesan and buttered breadcrumbs for $6. $6 for this is crazy, right? This side is humongous. If you got a side of mac and cheese this large on land, it'd be at least $25. This is like at a nice steakhouse, this is a $25 side right here. This is so huge, and I hope it tastes just as good as it looks. That is some really good mac and cheese. It's so creamy, and I love how sharp that cheese sauce is. I like a mac and cheese with a sharp cheese sauce. It's not overly sharp, but it has those good undertones of a sharp flavor. That is delicious, and I still cannot get over the value. $6. Passing it around. You gotta try that, Sean.
Oh, I'm excited.
What does the chef think?
Listen, this might have to be one of my favorite dining experiences here on the Disney Magic.
That is high praise. That is very high praise. It's some
Very
good
good.
mac. We are absolutely stuffed, guys, but I want to take a look over the dessert menu with you guys because they have some pretty iconic desserts here. So they have a panna cotta, they have a warm orange almond cake, they have Palo's homemade tiramisu, the chocolate souffle is their signature. They also have an amaretto souffle and a limoncello tart, as well as some gelato and a no sugar added dessert here too. To start off our dessert round, I did order an espresso martini. And on the ship, I've been going around and just asking for an espresso martini without saying Baileys or no Baileys. And you guys know, I don't like an espresso martini with Baileys, but we'll see how this one here is. I heard Palo can make a mean espresso martini. It's strong. I could taste the alcohol, but is it crazy to say that the creamy espresso martini I had at the Soul Cat Lounge earlier this week is better? It tastes a little bit watered down. I'm kind of disappointed in this. A little too much Baileys. And a little, I don't know. Very average. And the Mod Podge of beans on top is throwing me off a bit. Well, for my main dessert here, I of course had to get the chocolate souffle. Now, if you want to order this, order it early on in your meal because it takes 30 minutes to prepare, so they need a little bit of time for it. They serve it with a chocolate sauce and a vanilla sauce that they pour right into your souffle, as well as a vanilla gelato. And I had this last week on the Wish, and it was so good. And this is like one of those hyped up Palo dishes. Just make sure you don't touch the ramekin, right, Nate?
Yeah, it's hot.
It's like a fluffy, almost custardy chocolate cake that is so good. It's so rich. I love the sauces in there. You know what I could use? Maybe a little bit of flaky sea salt on top. But if you're like a chocolate person, chocolate molten cake person, it's really hard to go wrong with it. It's delicious. This one likes it even more than me.
It was awful. Terrible. Anyway.
She was joking.
It definitely lived up to the hype. It is the only thing I truly wanted to come here for. And oh my god, it was worth the wait. I can't even tell you which sauce was better. She mixed them both, and I used more, but oh my god, it was outstanding. My favorite thing that I ate on the ship.
Well, everything tonight at Palo was amazing. No surprise there, and I feel like that's the perfect way to end our cruise on the Disney Magic. All of the food, all of the restaurants have seriously been so amazing this time around on the Magic. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I appreciate your support. As always, if you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.